Hello, you're here with Miss Libby Rose, and today we're going to be making the wrap skirt. For this project you will need your sewing machine, some fat quarters, threads, scissors, pins and your iron. You'll also need a pattern to follow along. See the link in the description below to the blog. For the first step, take a piece of fabric from your fat quarters and fold it lengthwise so you've got just enough fabric to lay your pattern on top, leaving some excess at the end here. Pin and cut around. Once you've cut around your pattern, we also need a long rectangular shape from the rest of the fat quarter piece. Follow along this fold that's already here so you've got a nice straight line. Repeat this process for all 6 pieces in your fat quarter pack. So you have 6 of the pattern pieces and 6 long rectangles. Once you have all of your pattern pieces cut out, lay one face up and get the next one and lay it on top so you have right sides together. And we're going to pin and sew along one side. So pop your pins in. And now we're going to stitch along this edge, leaving a 1 centimetre seam allowance from the edge of our fabric. Backwards and forwards to start. Once the pins are out, open up your 2 pieces of fabric and lay the next piece on top. So we've got right sides together again. And now I'm going to pin along this edge. Again, we start with backwards and forwards and leaving a 1 centimetre seam allowance. Continue this process until all 6 pieces of the pattern are sewn together. Now we have all the 6 pieces joined together. The next step is to try it on. So if you want to wrap it around either you or the person that it's for, and make sure that at least one of the pieces at the end overlaps around the other one. Once you're happy with your sizing, so it's wrapped around nicely, we can then go to the next step. So if we fold 1 centimetre and then another centimetre, so we've got a nice fold and then a press along. We pin the whole way along, ready for stitching. Repeat this process on the other edge. The next step is to clean up these frayed edges. So you can either get your pinking shears and simply cut as close to the edge as you can, or use a zigzag stitch. We're going to use the zigzag stitch. So I set the machine to a small zigzag. I go along my edges and, as usual, do a backwards and forwards to start. Once you've zigzagged or pinking sheared your edges, we'll do the bottom hem the same as we did these 2 sides, but the whole way along the bottom. So you want to fold 1 centimetre, iron, pin and stitch. Once we've finished our hem, that's the main part of the skirt done. So now take the 6 strips that we cut earlier and we're going to lay them right sides together and stitch them so we have one long piece. Then fold the whole length in half long ways, pin and cut the edge on a slant. So now we pin and we're going to stitch all the way around and leave a gap in the middle. So I'm popping the pins lengthways here to show me that I want to leave a gap there, and the rest of the pins go as normal. Now, where we left that slanted edge, trim the corner just up to the stitch line. And now take all the pins out and find the gap where you left the hole, and we want to turn the whole piece through. And then you can just go along and give it a nice flat press, and then we'll attach this to the main skirt. So one side will stay short, just enough to tie a bow, and then the rest we will pin the whole way around the top until we meet the other side of the skirt, and that will then leave a nice long piece. We want a long piece on one side, and you will see that the hole that we left to turn it through will get pinned into the top of the skirt here. So you take out all the pins along the top, flip the waistband up, go along and iron out any creases and make this nice flush finish along here. And then you've finished your wrap skirt. So now when you go to wear your skirt, you have one short piece, and this long piece wraps all the way around the body and then meets this tie on the other side, and you tie it in a nice little bow on the side. And one of these overlaps each other, that makes it into the wrap skirt. For any more information on the products you've seen today, go over to the website, the blog, or pop in store and speak to one of our colleagues.